All right. So worksheet 8.11. So I want to, obviously last period is my other class, so we kind of got disrupted because we had that fire alarm. Yay. Yeah, it was just a drill. Don't you kind of look at fire alarms as like, if you haven't figured out how to get out of school yet, Darwin's awards kind of go to you? All right. Need one? There you go. Anyone else need one? Also, my friends, would you make sure you have a calculator? If you already have your own, that's great. If not, there's some sitting on this desk. If you need a pencil, they're in the top right corner of the cabinet. Try and use this one because this will be the one that you would have to use on a test or quiz, right? Just to make sure you know how to, you're like getting the same answers as me, nothing getting goofy.
I just do the same stuff I do on the calculator. I don't have the functions on this one.
All right, problem number 1. All right, notice on this worksheet, I had put A, I had put B, I had put C. Aren't you going to kind of feel a little silly? Anyone else need this worksheet? If you do, come get it. I got some extras. Many. Anyone else need it? Right there. And yeah, calculator. All right. So I am kind of putting a big point value. This question, if you get it correct, is worth 6 points. If you label A, B, and C and get A, B, and C correct, you're getting 3 of the 6 points. Wouldn't you feel funny if you're like, oh, that problem's too hard, I'm not going to do it, and you just left A, B, and C, where it's like, dude, you could have gotten 3 points. All right, what's my A value?
3.
3. B value?
6.
C value?
-18.
Okay, so notice we do have a negative value there. Agree? And here comes our famous song. X is equal to negative B plus or minus the square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Now, friends, I will assure you, if you write this equation down each time, you will know it. Is that an old one? Yay. Thanks. You will know it.
I was immediately demoted to sales maker.
Ah. All right. So I get X equals negative plus or minus. So inside of all those parentheses where our A, B's, and C's are going to go. So what goes in this first? 6. Now notice that 6 has what sign out in front of it because of the equation? Negative. What goes in this one? Minus 4AC all divided by 2A. Okay. Agree? Now, I'm going to highlight a few places where mistakes start to happen. Mistake happens there because people are like, oh, I plugged in a positive number, therefore it must be positive always. Errors take place right there. When that 6 or that base of that squared is a negative, some people plug it into their calculator and they don't have it in parentheses, and it gives them a negative answer. And then the last place that mistakes take place is here. Okay? So you have negatives that are taking place a lot of places here. This is the best place for people to make errors because the comment usually said from student to teacher is, but I did it in my head. And it's like, you did it in your head and you made a mistake. It's really okay to show your progression. Okay? Friends, I will be sure that I give you plenty of room. I don't care if I have to have like 2 questions per page so you have room. Okay, that's not a big deal to me. All right, so I get X equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is what? 36. All right, ready? Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Agree? Negative 12 times negative 18 is what? You have a calculator. How much?
216. 216.
Positive 216. Okay? Positive 216. Why did it turn positive? I had two negatives I had multiplied together. The minus 4 is the same thing as a negative 4. All over 6. Let's clean it up. What is 36 plus 216? Again, you have a calculator. If not, grab one.
252.
252. Cool. All right, we're going to bring this up here. And we'll start settling this down a little bit. All right. Friends, 252. And again, you have the calculator. So 252 divided by 144, does it come up to a number without decimals? 252 divided by 144, decimals or not?
Decimals.
Okay, that's not going to work. 252 divided by 121, decimals?
Decimals.
Nope, not going to work. 252 divided by 100, decimals?
Decimals.
252 divided by 81, decimals?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 252 divided by 64, decimals? 252 divided by 49, decimals?
Mm-hmm.
252 divided by 36, decimals? No, what does it come out to? 7? Thank you. So I got this, right? So what is the square root of 36? 6. So notice I'm going to get negative 6 plus or minus 6 root 7 over 6. Hi. You got a Starbucks gift card for me?
I wish.
All right. Let's see. I have this kid.
Yeah.
Is this an escort?
No,
It'd be so much fun if you said yeah.
it was.
He'd be all worried. Raiden, you got a gift card. All right. Hey, so does everyone feel comfortable with x equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 root 7 over 6? Okay, what is the only number that is underneath the radical sign in this problem?
6.
Underneath the radical sign. Inside the radical sign. 7. What are all the other numbers on this problem? 6. So does 6 go into 6? Once. Does 6 go into 6? Once. Does 6 go into 6? Once. Notice I reduced outside. Agree? So I get x equals. Remember there's a negative out in front. So I get negative 1 plus or minus root 7. And that's our answer. There, that counts for two answers. Negative 1 plus root 7 and negative 1 minus root 7. Yeah. Okay. Everybody okay with that? So again, yeah. 216. That was negative 4 times 3, which gives me negative 12. And then negative 12 times negative 18 is positive 216. Cool? So, hey, friends, do me a favor. From here on out in math, when in doubt, in your multiplying, put your individual numbers, including the sign. You don't have to put a plus, but put your sign, put everything in parentheses. Like, so how I have it written in the yellow on the far side. Use those parentheses to get that underneath the radical. Okay? Hey, can I move on? Number 2 is okay? Does everyone have that written down? Everyone has the sheet? E, you got the sheet yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Hey!
We don't do all that stuff.
Uh,
It's gonna pick up,
oh, cool.
but there's still a lot chilling.
Well, you have that bowl. Do you want to take some home?
You take some, yeah.
In my King Supers bag on my thing is also a bowl. Put it in there and we put it in the fridge.
You just told me.
Congratulations, bro.
Take some extra.
He's retiring. He's retiring.
Man, those things classics.
All right, moving on. All right. Ooh, I'm squeaking. Excuse me. All right, number 2. I got 4x squared plus 8x minus 11 equals 0. Yes? What's A? B? 8. C? Negative 11. And thank you for including the negative. That means something. That's that right there. That first part right there. If you get that right, you have a much lower chance of making an error later. But I promise you, friends, use the space, and I'll give you so much more space than we provided on these papers when we get to a test or quiz. All right. Here comes our song. Sing it if you know it. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You watch this weekend and you'll be walking through the mall with your friends. You're going, and your friends are like, what are you singing? Nothing. All right. So x equals negative parentheses plus or minus root parentheses squared minus 4 parentheses all over 2 parentheses. All right. What goes in this first one? 8. What goes in this one? 8. What goes here? And the last one? Thank you for keeping the negative. Okay, it's going to mean something. It will truly be helpful. And down here, last one. 4. We good so far? All right. So I get negative 8 plus or minus. What's 8 squared? You have a calculator. 64. All right. Follow me on this. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Agree? Agree? I get negative 16 if I go negative 4 times 4. What is negative 16 times negative 11?
176.
176, and it's positive. Notice it turned positive. Do you see why it turned positive? There was 2 negatives in there that I multiplied together. All over 8. $64 plus 176. Help me out. 64 plus 176. 240. All right. Now it's time to break down the 240. All right. Starting with 144. 240 divided by 144. Does it give me a whole number? No. 240 divided by 121. Does that give me a whole number? 240 divided by 100. 240 divided by 81. No? 240 divided by 64. 240 divided by 49. 240 divided by 36. Sure? Double check. 240 divided by 36. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. 240 divided by 25. Nope. 240 divided by 16. What is it?
16, 15.
16 times 15. Cool. All right. What's my perfect square under that radical? 4, right? So the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, so I get plus or minus 4 root 15 all over 8. All right, what's the only thing underneath or inside the radical? 15. The other numbers are 8, 4, and 8. Agree? So what number goes into 8, 4, and 8? 4. Good. 4 goes into itself once. 4 goes into 8 twice. 4 goes into 8 twice. So my answer is x equals negative 2 plus or minus root 15 over 2.
Reverse that.
What?
Go and switch up the 2 and the 1.
Yeah. Where do you want me to switch where?
The 2.
The 1 goes with the root 15, right? So there's technically a 1 right here. Dividing everything by 2. Or by 4. 4 goes in itself once, 4 goes in 8 twice, 4 goes in 8 twice. Because I'm reducing the fraction. Everything outside is a multiple of 4. All right? See it? Number 2? Do you see where you made an error? Cool.
Yeah, I got -1 plus or minus 4 root 15.
Oh. Oh. Get the 1. It becomes a 1 when you reduce it. May I move on? We good? Number 3. Number 3. X squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. What's A? B? C? Again, make note. You have a negative. Cool? All right, sing it out loud. X is equal to negative B plus or minus the square root. You ready for Elmo? B squared minus 4AC. Over 2A. Yeah, I was a blessing on road trips.
Oh no. Try singing Toad Chandelier.
All right, let's start filling it out. All right, what goes in this first one? First one, 6. Second one, third one, 1 and -7. Good. Last one, 1. Good so far? All right. X equals -6 plus or minus, what's 6 squared? 36. All right. Ready? -4 times 1 is what? -4. What's -4 times -7? 28. All divided by 2. Agree? What is 36 plus 28? 64? All right. What is special about root 64? Yeah, you have a perfect square already. So I'm going to get x equals -6 plus or minus 8 over 2. Now here's key on this one. Do we have anything inside a radical on this one? No. Are all of the numbers 6, 8, and 2, are they all divisible by 2? So if you reduce it first, it's less work. So 2 goes into itself once, 2 goes into 6 3 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So I'm going to get x equals -3 plus or minus 4. Do the math. -3 plus 4 is 1. And -3 minus 4 is -7. Hey, so why did this one look different? Good. You had a perfect square. Exactly. Okay. Will you tolerate me to do one last problem for today? Raiden, you good? One last one. Emily, good? One last one.
Welcome back.
Oh.
You didn't even drink these. It's because it melted in my car.
Oh. Number 4, last problem for today. Number 4, I get 9x squared minus x plus 9 equals 0. A equals. A equals 9. B equals -1. C equals. Cool? Whose voice should we do it in? Okay, how about Kermit the Frog? Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And x equals -b plus. Can't do it. B squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. So x equals negative, parentheses, plus or minus, parentheses squared, minus 4, parentheses, parentheses, all over 2 parentheses. What goes into this first parenthesis? -1. Notice, do I have a -1 now? Does that make sense? What goes in this second set of parentheses? -1. Third set? Third and fourth set are both the same, right? All over 2 times 9. All right, x equals. Hey, why is that 1 now positive, friends? Yep. And then -1 quantity squared. -1 times -1 is +1 minus, ooh, help me out. -4 times 9 is -36. What is -36 times 9? -36 times 9. You got a calculator? -324. Just didn't make that line that long. All over 18. All right, x equals 1 plus or minus -323 over 18. Okay, my friends, we haven't seen this in a little bit. What happens if I have a negative under the square root? Heck, look on your calculator. You go square root of -323. Tell me what you get. Square root -323. What'd you get? Ooh, it says error. So this doesn't work. What's making it not work? The negative. The negative under the square root sign. Once you get to this point, if you get to this point and you're like, oh my gosh, I've done everything I can so far. Now everything underneath inside the radical is negative. The answer to this is going to be no real solutions. And again, that is the answer we want. When you say talking about real, you're talking about that's the name of that number system. I know it's stupid, but they named it that. But I wasn't at the meeting. I was out bowling or something. Just kidding, I don't bowl. All right, my friends. I would like you to take the rest of the time for today and that worksheet 8.11, I want it finished for Monday. Okay, the front and the back side. Okay, I have no other worksheet to hand you guys today. Just get that finished, okay? You have a lot of time. Last period didn't have a lot of time because we had to go outside and act like we knew how to get out of the building during a fire drill. We were so safe. It was amazing.